So yeah, greetings metal community, it's Roger back with a response video for Thomas over at Mercyful Metal. He did kind of a spin-off of Metal Mickey's, you know, show 10 death metals in albums to explain death metal to aliens. This is kind of a thrash version, or this is a thrash version of that. Kind of just showing some different styles of thrash metal and from the 80s. I have, of course, done it a little bit different. I have not gone with the kind of, you know, my top-notch albums. I kind of went for one from each country. Loudblast is from France. They started out as a thrash band. This is slightly turning into death thrash, but they're not on the list, but they could have been. But I felt that France did need to get on in a video with thrash, because I mean, not a lot of thrash. This came out in this 5 album box set, you know, with this J card. It's the only way that I could get hold of the first 2 albums. The first album is licensed to thrash, but that's not as good as the second one. And they gradually turn into a death metal band, but yeah, Loudblast from France. Turn down a little bit more. So as said, I went around the globe a little bit. Anacrusis, kind of more technical progressive stuff. I think they are a US band. I do apologize if they're not, but pretty sure they are. Yeah, great stuff. I did get this. This is a reissue. I do have an original somewhere in my collection. But when I got this back in the days, I kind of didn't get it in a way. It took me a couple of years before I came into Anacrusis properly. But great band. Not their best album, but a great one. Then we are going to Brazil with some crossover thrash. I did see John Rock Metal Plus show this in an update recently, Ratos de Parão with Brazil. Yeah, crossover thrash, fun, kind of in the vein of probably like mod and MOD and SOD and stuff like that, DRI. But yeah, cool to have I don't have a lot of crossover because I don't kind of like much of that, but Ratos de Parão is pretty good stuff. Then we are going to Finland, and it had to be R.I.P. I mean, this is Entrance, came out 88 or 89. So it was barely getting into it, but you know, the second album is an absolute classic for me, and but this is also a great album. Kind of more aggressive, heavy thrash, pretty juicy vocals on it, but a killer band. So if you haven't checked it out, I will link up all these albums below. And we can go to Canada. Infernäl, Majesty, Non-Shell, Defy, killer album. This is an absolute banger of an album. This is the reissue from High Roller Records, so you know that's quality. That's kind of more like an evil thrash metal in a way. And yeah, but a fantastic album. Then we are going to Sweden. This is luckily my OG of Hexenhaus, a tribute to Insanity, excellent thrash again. This will never be like considered as a top tier thrash band, but it's a fucking great album. You know, the 2 first Hexenhaus are excellent stuff, but they gradually turn more kind of power heavy metal influenced. You know, there's the inner as well. But yeah, great thrash album. Not the kind of rawest vocalist, but he kind of fit the music very well. It's kind of you know, mid-paced, up-tempo, a little bit of slightly speed as well in it somewhere. I had to bring out something from Poland as well, you know, just to go the wrong Turbo. I really like the 5 albums from 86 to 92. I think those albums are pretty damn solid. This is not their best. 89 album is better, but I don't have a copy of that. But pretty good stuff. Again, they started like a heavy metal band and turned more into thrash, and then they turned into death metal or death thrash later on. But yeah, Turbo has some really good records out as well. German must be represented. Drew out, you know, Paradox, Product of Imagination, this annoying import sticker that was on the album back in the days when I got it, 87. Again, these are all kind of more power thrash, especially on the second album, Heresy, which is a fucking killer record. But I went for this because this is not shown so often, and but it's a killer album, and I'm a big fan of Paradox. So yeah, I just picked out, you know, kind of the albums that or bands that popped into my head after the just forget about all the big shots, because they will be shown more than enough. From England, representing England, Slammer, Work of Idle Hands. It's an original vinyl that I picked up for €5 in 1990, so just a year after it was released. I got it for €5, so that's awesome in a thrift store down in Bergen. Great. This was kind of filling the after the Metallica, you know, took a nosedive with the Black Album. I don't like Black Album. It's fine that you do. I don't. This is kind of took over the Metallica. Filled the gap after Metallica for me, and it's not a copy of Metallica, but it's just kind of the vocals and the guitar tone is it's kind of similar to Metallica in a way, if you want to know where they lay musically. Switzerland didn't have much to pick from that. I could have picked Messiah, but I regard them more like a death band, so I went with the Legends, Coroner, R.I.P. R.I.P. This is a reissue. Did have this on a dub tape back in the days, but yeah, I picked it up a couple of years ago. This is a 2018 reissue. So that was number 9, I think, and of course we will end this show in Norway, and I've shown this album plenty of times, but yeah, I really love this album. For me, this is top-notch thrash. Equinox, Auf Wiedersehen. I mean, if you guys know this album, I would very much like to hear what you think about this album in the comments below, because for me it's a fantastic thrash album, but we didn't have much thrash in Norway back in the days, but this was kind of, when this came out, it was like wow. In 89, I think it was, and yeah, kind of a little bit more technical thrash, not very technical, but very good album, fantastic. Love this album, and I have it on reissue vinyl, and I have original tape and original CD as well, and it goes to show how much I love this album. But as I said, if you know this album, please let me know what you think. Like, nice to hear people from other countries how they look at the album. So yeah, that was my quick blast through you know, 10 thrash albums from the 80s, some various styles within, and yeah, hope that was okay. Thomas, I also did see Mr. Boulder did a video for this. I don't know if others have, but I will check them out all, because this was a cool thread. Just as Metal Mickey's death thread, this is cool stuff to do. So keep them coming, you guys. I love to do this. Thanks as always for watching. Be sure.